Welcome to this presentation. My name is Chidi Olisa, and the Twitter handle is at Zcash Nigeria. I am also the lead of Zcash in Nigeria and Africa. A brief introduction about me. Chidi Olisa. I am a board member of ZecHub DAO and a recent grant recipient of ZCG, a former GAP member. GAP, I mean by Global Ambassador Program. I've been 5 years in Zcash. My focus has always been education, community building, and merchant adoption. I am very much committed to expanding Zcash adoption in Nigeria and across Africa. I have also seen the establishment of other Zcash communities across Africa, namely Zcash Ghana and Zcash Uganda. The purpose of this presentation is so that you guys can understand how Nigeria buy and sell and also use Zcash, navigating the crypto regulations and privacy tools that is available. Nigeria's crypto landscape, the major mode of transaction across Nigeria and in Africa mainly is the P2P trading. It is very dominant. Crypto adoption is on the rise despite issues and restrictions coming from CBN. By CBN, I mean the Central Bank of Nigeria. So CBN is actually in charge of everything related to finance in Nigeria. They regulate financial activities, they regulate the banks, they regulate fintechs that are all related to finance. Between July 2023 and June 2024, according to research done by Chidi Lisa, a total worth of 60 billion US dollars inflow of cryptocurrencies took place in Nigeria. So this goes to show along that Nigeria remains a very fertile market, remains a very potent force when it comes to cryptocurrency in Africa. I also believe that if we give Zcash the proper push, do the right things, coordinate properly, Zcash will really have a mass adoption coming from Africa and Nigeria to be specific. If you also take a look at this data, it indicates you can see that Nigeria is the second highest place where grassroots crypto adoption is on the highest. All these reports are just a year old, done between 2023 and 2024 by journalists. And a total of about 154 countries were put into perspective, and then Nigeria came second. This is actually another fact to buttress the point that there is a very huge untapped potential for Zcash in Nigeria and in Africa in general. I believe that for 1 out of every 10 persons you come across in Nigeria, especially in the urban areas between the youth 18 to 34, 18 to 35, already know something about cryptocurrencies. Some of them may not actually understand the inner workings, but most have heard something about it, seen something about it, or even done something with it. The working class, the youths, and then a little touch of the old guys as well. Then you might be wondering what exactly is driving this adoption, this grassroots adoption. What exactly is driving it? One of the major drivers is the Central Bank of Nigeria because of the unfriendly attitude they've had about cryptocurrency. So this has forced people to begin to look for alternatives. There are some draconian measures from the authorities, the way they regulate fintechs that are related to finance, the way it is quite difficult to get a license and all that and all that. So these are some of the things that makes it uh, fertile, that makes the adoption to continue to grow. Another important point that is also driving this adoption is also for speculative purposes. because in Nigeria there's a saying that if you want to get rich, invest in real estate, but if you want to get rich quicker, invest in crypto. So people also see cryptocurrency as a viable means of changing their lifestyle, that is, of changing their financial situation. So, part of the reasons driving this adoption is the perceived speculative nature of cryptocurrency, that is, perceived favorable speculative nature of cryptocurrencies, that people can invest and actually become rich through it if they hold it for a certain duration of time. Overview of Zcash in Nigeria. Adoption and awareness. Zcash adoption is growing, but awareness is still limited. This means we really need more resources to get more eyes and get more people into Zcash. There is an increasing demand for secure censorship resistant transactions. So, because of the activities of the regulatory bodies, people are much more inclined to look for censorship resistant transactions. So, coming to the use cases, some persons use it for private payments, just a very few people. Then, merchant transactions, there are still businesses that are accepting Zcash for transaction in Nigeria. And as I already stated before, that many persons hold it for speculative purposes with an expectation of increase in price. This speculation is not just limited to Zcash. It is limited. It is for the whole different cryptocurrencies in Nigeria. People buy and hold them with the belief that the price will eventually go up and they make a profit from it. In 2021, the regulatory body uh, came up with some regulations against crypto. So then in 2023, there was an outright ban. So this outright ban meant that all the centralized exchanges that were before then operating in Nigeria had to, or providing support for Nigeria, had to leave. Namely, the likes of Binance, the likes of KuCoin, the likes of Bybit, the likes of OKX. So all these exchanges that before then were very popular amongst Nigerians had to leave. These platforms, these exchanges that left had some demands they were fulfilling, because a platform like Binance had a P2P section on their platform where people can actually trade amongst themselves, use their ZEC, convert to USDT, then from USDT, convert it to Naira and withdraw to their local bank account. So the exit of Binance and other centralized exchanges meant that this support was cut off. Now people had to look for other alternatives to bypass this issue. So there was an inflow of different types of P2Ps, and some of them include P2Ps that take place in the WhatsApp groups, where you have an admin and he tries to regulate what goes on in this P2P. And we'll discuss the other ones in the next slide. So on ramps, that's buying Zcash in Nigeria. There is no direct way to buy ZEC with NGN on an exchange. So to get ZEC, the user must first of all convert his NGN to USDT. Then the USDT, you can now swap or trade it for ZEC. So the methods that people use to do this, the peer-to-peer method, since ZEC cannot be purchased directly with NGN, we will have to go through USDT or any stable coin of your choice, then use the P2P platform to get it to ZEC. Some of these platforms include Binance P2P, Bybit P2P, Telegram groups, and local cryptos. So these local cryptos is location specific. What it means is that in some cases, in some places, in some locations, You have physical meetings where people can actually transact this P2P amongst themselves. For instance, I can get to a location in point A, meet someone that will also congregate at that point A, then I can give the person my naira and the person can transfer to me the crypto equivalent of the naira I gave him. So this thing still works. People still do it, but it's just location specific. Then you have the people who go through the WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups. There are groups, local groups, where these things take place, but it comes with its own risk. There is the risk of scam, there is high fee, there is identity exposure, and then to be on the safer side, people will now have to use escrow service. So in some cases, these escrow services are just the admins of these Telegram groups, because they've built trust over the time. People could trust them. But trusting them still also means that there is just so much amount people can trust with. So people have their risk tolerance. So I observe that in most cases, people don't go beyond a certain amount of money when trading in these Telegram and WhatsApp P2P groups. But this escrow service, using it, it also increases the price. It increases the fee of this buying or even selling the ZEC tokens. The best practice still remains the escrow with a markup fee on it. There are also crypto-friendly fintech apps like Yellow Card, Bundle Africa, but they do not support direct Zcash purchases. You must still have to go through BTC or USDT and then swap to ZEC. We made attempts in the past. Attempts have been made to get these apps like Yellow Card to provide direct support for Zcash, but the amount of funding they are requesting for to get it integrated is very humongous. So we decided to look for an inward solution and develop an in-house solution, which I will talk more as the presentation progresses. There's a solution we are already working on and we look forward to it. Okay, the next slide, selling and spending of Zcash in Nigeria. Spending Zcash in Nigeria is very limited due to the difficulties I already stated earlier. And I was once a Global Ambassador Program member, and during my time, I did onboard a number of businesses to accept Zcash. So when I received the recent ZCG grant, I made out time to go and look for these businesses and find out how they are faring in this crypto economy. So the data I gathered shows clearly that most of them have stopped providing support or accepting Zcash, and the reason is simply because of the on and off ramps problem, and then the challenges with some of the regulatory agencies. Exchanging Zcash for NGN requires some level of proficiency, and this makes it a bit difficult for the everyday user. If you have, once you have your ZEC with you, that's Zcash token, you can easily convert it to USDT using near intents. You can use near intents is the most recent and looks like the most efficient at the moment. You can also use Changely. Changely is an exchange quite popular here, a bit popular. You can also go through a VPN to access restricted centralized exchanges. Once you have converted your ZEC to USDT, then you can now sell through Bybit P2P, Telegram P2P groups, WhatsApp P2P groups, or other peer-to-peer platforms. So presently, there are a few businesses that accept Zcash in Nigeria, of which one of them is the Phoebe Corps. So this guy is into parfaits, ice creams, and he's also a member of the Zcash Nigeria team. He has been doing very well, doing well researched articles and all that. There is also another shop that is into wines. So they retail and wholesale wines as well. They presently accept Zcash, but not without the hurdles that comes with it. This challenge is also brought with it some opportunities, and these opportunities include P2P markets are expanding. There is still not enough P2P platforms to cater for the needs of Nigerians and the Africans effectively, especially P2P platforms that is providing direct support for Zcash straight to the Naira instead of going through USDT. So this presents an opportunity on its own that if we find a solution, a P2P platform that integrates Zcash, that people can actually sell it straight, can sell their ZEC token straight to NGN, it will be of immense advantage. Then more merchants are open to crypto payments. There are merchants that are coming on board that are already in existence that will be more than happy to accept crypto payments if the proper regulations are put in place, one. And secondly, if there is a solution to come in and out of ZEC easily. There could also be potential partnerships with fintech companies to make all these opportunities become a reality. Then one other thing that is worth exploring is using it for remittances. There are cross-border transactions. People outside of Nigeria who work in Europe, Asia, other continents that is not Africa, even Africa from time to time have need to send back money to their beloved ones in Nigeria for one thing or the other. And this is a very huge market as well. So Zcash can actually take advantage of this and use its token for these remittances. What next? What are the future plans of Zcash in Nigeria, and how do we also intend to solve all these problems, especially this on and off ramp solution? We are setting up an independent organization for Zcash development in Nigeria and Africa at large, establishing a dedicated team to develop solutions for Zcash unique challenges in Nigeria. Then we'll be collaborating closely with Shielded Labs to gain more experience and insights. I've been discussing with Jason lately. I've been in contact with him trying to get more insights and some guides and experience for the good things they've been achieving, how they do it, and the way we can navigate our own landscape here. This team we are setting up will also be conducting research and development to enhance the usability of Zcash. And when we find these solutions on its usability, another thing will be how to scale it. Uh, they will also be working on it and also trying to form strategic partnerships with other blockchain innovators and financial institutions to integrate Zcash into the Nigeria's financial ecosystem. So this is a big one, but if we continue to put things proper and take the right steps, we'll eventually get to having it integrated into Nigeria's financial ecosystem. We are building a very simple on-off ramp solution that will be very seamless and efficient, that will enable easy movement between Nigerian local currency NGN and ZEC token. We are also continuing our education and awareness. Of course, the grants that was given by ZCG is focused on education, awareness, and community building. So we intend to continue to do this and then create workshops, meetups, translations. Presently, we are translating on Yoruba language in Nigeria. So one of the team members does these weekly translations, translating resources that are related to Zcash into the local language, thereby giving more access to the local community. One of the reasons why setting up this organization, independent organization, is very important. I had some experiences when I was working as a GAP member I was invited a couple of times by the local authorities who asked me why I was promoting a parallel money. So after much back and forth and explanation, the advice or the solution was that to continue to promote Zcash on the level I want to, I have to come under an organization that is registered in Nigeria. So this independent organization that is being set up, that we are setting up, will also cater for this and build localized in-house solutions. This independent organization that we are setting up, we are unveiling it today, and the name is Obscuro Labs. So it is an independent organization that is based in Nigeria and is dedicated to identifying and building solutions that drive Zcash adoption in Nigeria and Africa, in-house solution. So we are using this opportunity to call for visionaries, engineers, volunteers, contributors that are passionate about financial privacy, decentralization, and blockchain innovation. If you have an expertise, if you are knowledgeable in software development, payment infrastructure, fintech, liquidity solutions, community building, advocacy, whatever you can bring to the table, we are inviting you to come join us in developing a practical solution and advancing privacy focused financial system. If you have any expertise in this, please do reach out and then join us. So this organization is going to be funded by our donations because we don't really have any particular source of income. So the income from the funding that will be needed for this project will be on donation basis. We're also trying to reach out to some people. The registration of this independent organization is almost complete, and probably in the next 1 or 2 weeks, the registration will be fully completed. Join us in this endeavor. Join us to build a practical solution, in-house solution for the advancement of Zcash in Nigeria and beyond. Okay. Questions are popping up. I can see someone asking, how is the developer community in Nigeria? What can I or we do to better attract Nigerian developers to build their own use cases? So the best way to attract Nigerian developers is through collaborations and reaching out. So part of the work of the Obscuro Labs is to research and identify these developers, then invite them to come join us to achieve the missions we want to do. So we'll be reaching out to a whole lot of them. We're already on the research process and we're already identifying a number of them that we would love to work with. Another person is asking, since there is no direct way to buy Zcash in Nigeria, is the Zcash Nigeria team working on a solution? So to answer your question, the answer is yes. Part of the reason for setting up Obscure Labs is to build solutions that will solve these challenges. So solutions will be built and these challenges will be solved. Okay, another question just popped up. Have you heard about No One's P2P exchange that is popular? It is popular it's popular in Africa, and the privacy exchange that is focused on Africa. Okay, I've not really heard about it. I think someone has referenced it once in the past. So I'll try to take a look more at what they do and try to reach out and see if we could collaborate together and solve these problems or these challenges. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, on X at Zcash Nigeria. Read our articles on Medium, Zcash Nigeria, Medium, and also join our Telegram group, Zcash Nigeria. Thank you for having me and thank you for listening to this presentation.